Okay. I've got a confession to make. At Venture Arena, we pride ourselves with our careful consideration and analysis of matchups, which is why it pains us to say that we did not predict every matchup correctly in the first round of March Mammal Madness.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Our spirit's been battered, but certainly not broken. First, we must look back at the matchups we incorrectly predicted. Then, we will move forward in breaking down all of our round 2 predictions.
Here are all the matchups we got wrong in round 1. First, the musk deer beat the Aodad. This matchup was written by Professors Patras Connors and Katie Hind. The two meet on a path in the Golden Mountains of Altai. After a prolonged standoff full of intimidation techniques such as growling and displaying their tusks, they both charge one another. The musk deer strikes first, using its tusks to slash at the Aodad's hind legs, wounding it and causing it to flee. Next up, the Egyptian fruit bat beat the Kinda baboon. This fight was narrated by Dr. Alison Brokaw and Mana Desari. The Egyptian fruit bat finds itself a little out of place in the Kinda baboon's habitat, the Kasanka National Park in Zambia. This matchup also takes place during the area's wet season, meaning it's lightly raining. This forces the fruit bat to take up residence on a nearby acacia tree, right by where the baboon is staying. The male Kinda baboon is grooming one of the females of its group, and when the female leaves the area, the male follows, leaving the fruit bat victorious. The Solenodon beats the civet. This fight was written by Professor Mark Kissel. The Solenodon, although completely unaware of the civet's presence, still managed to outlast the civet, as the civet prefers to hunt something a little bit smaller. The civet pounces on a millipede and flees the field of battle with its prey, without the Solenodon ever knowing it was there.
Alright, well, with that out of the way, let's move on to our predictions. Wait, hold on. What's this here? That's not everything? Ah, jeez, that's a bit awkward. Well, I guess let's continue then. The red-crested tree rat beat the red and white giant flying squirrel. Professor Patrice Connors wrote and narrated this matchup. The red-crested tree rat didn't take kindly to the red and white flying squirrel intruding on its territory, so it lunged at it, scaring it away, forcing it to glide away out of the battlefield, thus forfeiting the match. Oh no. The devil frog beat the fire salamander. This round was written by Professor Mark Kissel. Instead of apostematism scaring the frog off, the devil frog simply swallowed the fire salamander whole as it scurried by. The blue-capped ifrit beat the Brussels griffin. This match was narrated by Professor Patrice Connors. The blue-capped ifrit's feathers contain a toxin that can temporarily paralyze anything that comes into contact with it. Unlucky enough for the griffin, it was high up on the tree when it tried eating the ifrit. When it came into contact with the ifrit, the griffin got dizzy and fell from the tree, knocking one of its eyes out of the socket. This forced it to run away, leaving the ifrit to its nest. Finally, I can confirm that this next match is the last one we got wrong. The Crypt Keeper Wasp beat the Masarisector Nananubis. Dr. Tara Chestnut was the narrator of this matchup. The Crypt Keeper Wasp and the Nananubis both found themselves on the same tree looking for prey. The Nananubis' prey, however, decided to make a bolt for it at the last second, prompting the Nananubis to give chase, leaving the battlefield. Well, there you have it. We've corrected our errors, and the past is in the past, so it's time to... Now to look ahead and make our predictions about the upcoming matches in round 2. Keep in mind, these are simply our predictions and nothing official, so obviously take it with a grain of salt. Again, there are a lot of matchups and not a lot of time, so let's dive right in.
First up, we believe the dugong will beat the musk deer. The musk deer will not be able to do anything to the dugong in its aquatic habitat, so it will either drown or swim to shore, leaving the battle. Next, we believe the Solenodon will beat the fruit bat. The Solenodon is mildly more aggressive than the fruit bat and has a venomous bite, so it will likely win. Next up, we believe the tapir will beat the jaguarundi. The jaguarundi is simply way too small to take on a larger animal, like a tapir, coming in at only 15 pounds, and will be trodden on or simply scared away. And last up for this quadrant, the red wolf is going to beat the tarsier. The tarsier will be out of place in the red wolf's habitat in the southeastern United States and will likely be consumed by the red wolf.
Now to the second quadrant. The kangaroo will beat the tree rat. The kangaroo already beat out another rodent in the previous round through intimidation alone. We wouldn't be surprised if something like that happened again, or if it came to it, the kangaroo could just squash it under its feet. The langur will beat the brocket. The langur, we think, would be able to scare the brocket away, as it wouldn't recognize mysterious sounds coming from the trees and will probably run. The bay cat will beat the red fox. While the red fox is significantly bigger than the bay cat, foxes are known to be incredibly skittish. This means that if the bay cat were to jump out at the fox, it might flee the scene. The hartebeest will beat the lemur. The hartebeest is so beefy and strong that it will trample the lemur underneath its feet. The lemur would also have no trees to escape up, since it would be in the hartebeest's home turf on the plains of Africa.
Now onto the quadrant of myths and monsters. First up, the harpy eagle will beat out the ghost bat. Both of these creatures being aerial means the battle will likely take place in the sky. If this is the case, the harpy eagle will just snatch the bat out of the sky with its beak or talons for a quick meal. Next up, the pit viper will beat the devil frog. We think the roles will be switched on the devil frog in this next round, with the pit viper launching a sneak attack on it and poisoning it to bring it down. Next, the chimpanzee will beat out the sphinx monkey. A chimp is about twice the weight of a mandrill and much stronger as well. The mandrill does have some huge canines, so it's not impossible that it could get a good bite out on the chimp and take it out of the competition. But our bet is definitely on the chimpanzee for pure strength alone. Last up for this quadrant, the blue-capped ifrit will beat the crypt keeper wasp. Two contenders that we did not expect getting this far, the ifrit and the wasp. But this seems like another really easy choice, with the ifrit as the winner, because it could just pluck the wasp out of the air.
The saber-toothed anchovy will beat the pink ventfish. The saber-toothed anchovy is significantly larger and more aggressive than the pink ventfish, meaning it will likely devour the ventfish. The vampire squid will beat the black dragonfish. The vampire squid is considerably larger than the dragonfish, although the dragonfish does get home advantage and its home in the ocean is typically a bit deeper than the vampire squid is used to. They both use light somewhere on their body to attract their prey towards them, which will probably lead to one investigating the other. No matter who attracts who, we believe the vampire squid will win, however, as it can use its beak at the center of its arms to make short work of the dragonfish. The platyzilla will beat the ammonite. Now that the first round is over, we have a bit more information on what kind of ammonite is competing. Didymoceras nebrascens. That's too hard to pronounce. Just cut that and put the text on screen, alright? This particular ammonite is 27 centimeters in length, small enough we think to be eaten by the platyzilla. The Midgardia sea star will beat the yeti crab. The yeti crab will be out of its normal habitat and in much shallower water than what it is used to. This, mixed with the sheer size of the sea star, means there will be little it can do.
With our predictions done and round 2 matchups beginning tonight, that's all we've got time for now. Next week we will have 3 videos coming out rounds 3 and 4 and 5. So make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out. Just an FYI, the next 4 March Mammal Madness videos will be short because of the time between rounds at this time. Stay tuned because in April, we will have time to look back at the bracket and break down matchups if need be. Comment down below if you disagree with our predictions and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Stay adventurous and we will see you in the next Venture Arena.